Hi guys.
I love your look.
I had to come correct.
She came correct.
Hey, the best way to get over someone is by getting under someone else.
I have binged 5 episodes and I need the rest. Jesse, let's come to you first. Jesse James, what a role for you to take on. Tell me about the audition process for this. I'm becoming Ruthie.
This is a dream role for me. I'm so grateful I get to play Ruthie. The audition process was embarrassingly easy. Yeah, I actually filmed a self-tape literally right here with all these plants. They were in it. And basically booked it the next day. It was a time when I was about to sign on to a long contract for Big Sky, and was presented with this opportunity to tell this story with Ruthie and with these creators, and it was something I couldn't pass up.
CG, were you familiar with the original? Because over here, it was a bit of a huge deal. It was the first of its kind. Russell T Davies did something that I think British TV hadn't seen before. But then it went to America and then it had this huge gap. So how familiar were you with the journey of Queer as Folk?
I came in kind of blind, or rather with like one eye covered, one eye open to it. And I think that having that balance just like provided a nice way to jump into it with this new character.
Honey, what are you doing here?
I lost my keys.
Wow, you love a dramatic entrance.
Dad is home!
The thing that I loved about it was these characters weren't just one or two dimensional. You know, sometimes when we get stories told about people that often, for whatever reason, get ignored by mainstream, they kind of just show you one side, or if you're lucky, two. But we didn't get click, exactly, Jesse. But the thing is, I said this to Stephen, I said there's so much going on with all these characters.
Of course, I mean, in the pilot, Ruthie has a line that's like, you could be trans and toxic. It's called intersectionality, bitch. And it was a huge reason why I wanted to do the show, because we contain multitudes. I'm not just a woman. I'm not just trans. I'm not just et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Just like Ruthie isn't, she's a hopeless romantic. She's a bit cynical. She's really funny. She's a teacher. She's really smart. She loves to read. She's a little bit of a party girl, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And getting the opportunity to play someone who is realistically flawed that's the type of representation we need.
Here's the thing as well, though. They are messy.
Find a bitch who isn't messy.
Oh my God. I don't know why, but I love messiness on TV. It gives me joke and life, and I'm like, they're not trying to make this is the angel, this is the good guy. Everybody, as you said, there's a flawed, but let's be real. In real life, nobody's perfect, right? But we're kind of getting to see these people play out what they really think, how they really feel. Suji, was that quite fun?
I mean, yeah. And to be honest, I feel like for Shar, for my character, they would love to think that they are not as messy as they are because of the position that they're in right now, as far as like having this family and like bearing these children and like, being on this other kind of journey. So I feel like they would love to think that they're not as messy as they are, which I guess is also a fun place to be, is to be this person who, thinks they have their shit together, and it's like, you don't know all your shit, so how can you have it all together? So,
well, and that leads to some really interesting conversations. Like in episode 3, when CG's character Shar is like very frustrated with Ruthie, like, I'm doing this all on my own. And it's like, yeah, you are, by choice, because you won't let me help you the way I know how, the way I can help. It's like Shar's like concrete like foundation is a little rockier than they let on.
It's interesting because I'm like, boy, if I was Shar, Ruthie, teacher, party, living best life. I'm like, you're a parent now. You're a mum. Help out. I mean, I feel like this is going to escalate a little bit. Like I said, I'm 4-5 episodes in. I just don't want you lot to split. That will really upset me. But I just feel like there's going to be trouble at home.
all I can say is you gotta keep watching. There is some drama.
Well, you've got a really exciting and interesting mother-in-law that you've kind of inherited, the pair of you, played by Kim Cattrall, who's absolutely so, like, she's completely transformed herself from the voice. Everything about her is not who we know her as. What was your experience about working with her? Because you must have been fans like the rest of us.
I knew of her, and I mean, like, yes, I watched some of the Sex in the Cities and was like, oh, nice, Samantha. But like you said, I mean, this was really a different person for her to step into. And I feel like that's like, it's very refreshing to watch. And I'm sure that on her personal part, don't want to speak for anybody, but I'm sure that was very refreshing for her as well to like reintroduce herself to the TV world as not what she was before, as not what people are always reminded of when they see her. It's like that she is more than that. She is more than that. And also who she plays, Brenda, is more than Brenda is.
It's kind of nice to imagine like fresh new faces that we're getting introduced to with people like Juliette Lewis, Kim Cattrall, who are seen as icons. And to hear you say, actually, I mean, all I've heard, Stephen said the same thing, is the energy, everybody was cool, we're like a little family. But it's nice that it was that type of energy, because sometimes you think, big stars with new stars, is this going to be orcs? But nothing like that.
No, the biggest diva was me.
Since that night, this entire part of myself that made me feel okay is gone.
We cannot do this without you, Ruthie.
Real life, like how similar are you guys to the characters you play?
I think I've definitely put a lot of myself into Ruthie. I don't think I'm as chaotic. I like to think I'm not. My friends might disagree. But our senses of humor is really, there's a major overlap. I definitely have a very dry sense of humor a lot of the time. Her fashion sense has quickly become, there's such a marriage between what I love and what Ruthie loves. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't go out and buy half of her stuff.
Stevie, what about you?
You know, at the beginning of this process, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so much like Shar. Like, it's uncanny how much I relate to them, etc. And, you know, not that that has exactly like gone away, but from playing them and living in myself, I realized that we are pretty different. Like Shar, sure, we might have this like quality of being grounded within both of us, but Shar, they're just at a very particular place in life. You know, I don't have the responsibilities that they have. Like, they can deal with that, and like I can be here in this Barney shirt and then go like light some shit on fire because I don't have no babies to take care of, you know. So I'm like, yeah, in that way we are similar, but also very our own people.
These characters are bold. Episode 2 starts straight away with a bit of a masturbation situation right at the top. Jessie Jen, for you, there's one thing that we all know that's a natural thing that we all do. But to be filmed, doing these intimate things, how did you prepare? Like, I know there's intimacy coordinators and all this stuff, because there's full-on like sex scenes in this that are like so real. You almost think, wow. But what is that process like for you guys as people on screen, as actors?
I did a lot of practice. I did a lot of research in real life. Joking. You know, it's weird. It's such a weird thing to be naked on TV, and to be naked in a room full of your coworkers it's an odd thing. But we're actors. It's part of our job. And you know, I've always said for the right role, for the right show, for the right story, of course I would do it. I have no gripes about my body, but as a trans woman, I feel I've always been told I should feel shame about my body. You know, that embracing my body without shame is a bit of a taboo. So having the opportunity to just be like, hey, I'm a hot 28-year-old, let's do it, let's make it happen. Of course, there was body panic, and you know, I'd be lying if I said I didn't become a gym girl for this role. But I think it's probably what I learned most from Ruthie was embracing my own real life body and sexuality and the relation my body has to me as a sexual being. I think I learned a lot from Ruthie in that respect.
All of us survivors struggle every damn day.
If one more person calls me brave,
Hey.
I'm gonna kick them full on it.
Actually, not survivors.
Hey, stop.
Thrivers.
Okay, never mind, he's trash.
What would a show like this have meant growing up? Start with UCG. If you've seen these characters on your TV every week, what would that have meant to you?
A little tween person, if I were to be seeing this show with these characters, there would have been maybe less of that. I feel like I would have been confused, but like there's a part of confusion that you're only confused by because you haven't seen it before. But once you start to see it, it's like, oh, this isn't confusing. This is actually a little bit like me. Like I didn't know, you know, and it's crazy what can happen when, you know, or when you see. And so I just feel like maybe there would have been a little less of that, a little bit less of the turmoil gestation period of feeling like no one knew what I was thinking about and how I was feeling on the inside. And I mean, you know, as a kid, I watched so many videos of people transitioning and I was like, oh my gosh, what are these feelings that I'm having? And like, just like forgot that I even watched those things because there was a piece of them, a large piece that I was relating to, but then there was also another piece that I like wasn't relating to. So just like having those YouTube videos and having the show be put together and seeing someone like Shar, seeing someone like Ruthie, seeing someone like fucking Mingus, I just would have just been a little less turmoil.
Like it's like if you seeing these adult queer people who are loved, who have success, who, you know, knowing that you can and will still be loved and celebrated, not in spite of who you are, but also because of who you are. I think that would have been life-changing for me, and I'm sure a lot of other people too.
Yeah, it blows my mind because on Friday, Lightyear was released, which is like the spin-off the Toy Story series, it's a brilliant film. And so many people in some countries, like Dubai, they banned the film because of a same-sex kiss. And honestly, it just makes me so sad.
Because we also have to remember, it's not a far off issue. Homophobia, queerphobia, transphobia is not something that's relegated to just countries other than our own. The UK is rampant with transphobia. The United States is rampant with transphobia. I can't open a single social media app without people constantly attacking my talent, my looks, my et cetera, based on nothing other than my trans status. So, you know, there's a lot of people who don't want to see it here. A lot of people within the LGBT plus community that are upset at seeing trans and non-binary and queer storytelling. There's inter-community discrimination as well. So it's very sad that there are entire countries that people can't see themselves reflected in media without really, really having to try. But it ain't all sunshine and rainbows here and in the UK as well.
Here, absolutely agree. Sorry, go and CG.
We're here not trying to be worshipped because like fuck that shit. Who wants to be like worshipped besides Jesse?
I was gonna say, I was like, I mean,
Jesse, I'm here for it. Go, Jesse.
I mean, I charge extra for that.
Just with his hair like. Sorry, you have a moment, and me and Jesse are just being tacky. Go on.
No, I mean, I brought it about. You know, you can't not. But anyway, but just that, like I was saying, like we are so ancient, and it's like it's a matter of like remembrance. To be honest, like this is not no new shit. And like, we're just coming back around with people who have been, I mean, a little like brainwashed by what the main has to offer, which is like very binary and very 1 and 2 and black and white, which like in between that is so much. that people don't know what to do with it. And you know what? That's cool. Like, be confused, be scared of the confusion. That's super valid. But at the same time, like,
enjoy this ride. I'm wishing you guys so much success. Thank you so much for the messiness, the drama, and everything. I'm loving it. And I hope the day's not too long sitting on Zooms all day.
It was great meeting you. This was a very fun interview.
Thank you, guys.
What does one wear to a sex party?
Tonight, remember our friends, not as symbols, but for the messy ass sluts we know and love.